You're watching Your View.
Thank you for joining us. This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner.
Hey, great friends. We welcome you back to the 7 Mile Casino studios here of Kaplan and Crew, along with Grande and the Brown Man on a Thursday afternoon. So, fellas, I want to completely call a timeout on the show today because we do have a lot of stuff we want to get to. San Diego State's football game this weekend, the quarterback situation, definitely want to get there. I would like to talk about all the big fights that are happening this weekend. There's a huge MMA fight, one that we're kind of really interested in. We'll explain why coming up in a few minutes. Big boxing match this weekend with Canelo Alvarez. That's where I'll be in Las Vegas coming up. And a lot of other things that we want to get to today. Back to Aaron Rodgers, more NFL news, Von Miller to the Rams, lots of stuff we want to get to. So everybody just hang out for a couple of minutes, but I'm calling a show timeout. Okay, I'm calling it TO on the show. Guys, we decided late in the podcast, when do you guys think this was? A day or two ago? This is like at the very end of the podcast. For those of you that listen on radio, we end the show on radio at 6, and then we have like a different ending over here for everybody who's watching on YouTube or everybody who's listening on audio podcast. And Grande, I feel like it was maybe Monday or Tuesday, we started talking about having a great friends holiday party. I don't even know where.
I don't know how it came up, but it came up
listener said it.
organically.
Somebody put it in an email. You read
Somebody
the email.
thanked you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Somebody, yes, that's right. Somebody sent an email. I wish I could remember who it was off the top of my head. And they said, hey, are you guys planning on having a holiday party this year?
That person's definitely invited.
If we can figure out who he is.
Right.
Well, you're the one with the email.
Yeah. So here's what happened. So one of the listeners sent an email and said, hey, are you guys planning on doing a holiday party this year? And, we're all running around like, like a chicken without a head. I mean, everybody here is running around like a crazy person. And we didn't even have the chance to think about it or plan it. We don't have a radio station the way we used to. We don't have a promotions department. We don't have a sales team. We just don't have
a promotions department. We had Browner. It's
Right.
the same thing.
Pretty much.
True. But the difference is that back in the day, Browner was running the promotions department, and Browner wasn't on the air all day, every day,
Yeah.
It was a different deal. So somebody suggested it to us, and we said, okay, Browner, you got to handle this. So, Browner, explain the story of what you did when this idea of let's have a holiday. Just again, back up for one quick second. Anybody who's new to the show, especially anybody that's watching on television on Channel 4 San Diego or Cox Your View up in Santa Barbara, Palos Verdes, Orange County, wherever you're watching. A few years ago, I would say, is this 2018? Do you guys think the end of 2018?
That's a great question.
We decided
The first time?
Yeah,
Yeah, it would be 18.
I think so. So here's what happened.
We did it. Yeah.
Was it 18 or was it 19?
No, 19, we did it as a podcast.
Yeah.
Right.
2018.
definitely 18?
Here's what happened. There's a guy named Jack Berkman, and Jack is a long-standing great friend, great guy. And Jack had called me, and he's a PR expert in San Diego. That's kind of his area of expertise. And Jack sent me an email one day, and he said, hey, I have an idea. He said, there's this yacht called the Yacht America, and it's a replica of the original Yacht America, which maybe won the first America's Cup race. And I didn't know anything about the history of yacht racing, so none of that really registered. He goes, but I have an idea. He goes, what if we did a live radio broadcast on the yacht as it's circling around the Bay of San Diego? And we thought to ourselves, how the hell could we ever possibly pull this off? So we started promoting on the radio. We're going to try and break a Guinness World Record for the longest uninterrupted terrestrial radio broadcast on a yacht, et cetera, et cetera. So we made this whole big stink about the thing. At the time, Linda Welby, who I miss desperately, Linda, her husband, Austin, is the drummer in a band called, anybody know the name of the band?
Band Overboard.
Band Overboard. So we said, we came up with this whole extravagant idea. Take the band, put them in the front of the boat. This is pre-COVID, take like 50 to 75 great friends, put them back here. And they played yacht rock music with all the great friends on the boat as we did a radio broadcast literally in the back of the boat where Captain Fathom and Captain Troy Sears were actually driving the boat, right? And it went off incredible. People loved it. It was a great time. The following year, 2019, again, pre-COVID, now we're off 1090. We don't have a radio station anymore. We're just
Hold on,
podcasting.
I have pictures for you now.
Oh, let's see it. Oh, this is great.
This is December 11th, 2018.
Oh, ironic date, by the way. Okay, so there's me holding the microphone. There's Billy Ray. There's Captain Fathom in her elf costume. And there's Captain Troy Sears. And yeah, here we are standing up. Oh, now here's Band Overboard playing on the front of the boat. So for everybody that's listening on radio, dude, you got to come watch the YouTube show. Or tonight, 7 o'clock, you can watch the show on Channel 4. There's Captain Fathom. She's adorable. There's Linda. There's Billy Ray. Okay. I mean, what a great afternoon that was on the Yacht America. So 2019, though, guys, we didn't have a radio station anymore. So we decided we're going to try and do a live streaming podcast from the Yacht America. And as I recall, Alex said, no chance, can't happen. We don't have the technology.
Will not
We
happen.
don't have the Wi-Fi. It cannot happen. Browner, on the other hand, the ultimate optimist. I love this about Browner. Browner's like, we got this. We can do this. And somehow, Browner, I don't know how you did it, but it worked, didn't it?
Yep. It broke because I knew it would.
Perfect.
Because when we tested it, it broke up when we came out of the dock. But once we came out,
Do you believe this? We're talking about broadcasting on a boat, Alex. We're talking about streaming on a boat. Okay, we're talking about how can we stream live video and audio on a boat using Wi-Fi. And as
I'm breaking
Browner
up.
is going into his whole diatribe, his Wi-Fi breaks up and he freezes on us. Keep going, Brown.
Yeah.
okay, so I knew it would break up out of the dock because it did when I was testing it. So once we survived that initial like kind of scattering and we started going out, we just simply restarted the broadcast and it was clear. It was fine throughout the entire time. So it was I was on pins and needles for a while until we were on our way back, and I was like, well, at this point, if it drops, who cares? We made it to the end.
Is the video of us that day when we were just podcasting? Alex is showing more pictures.
December 20th, 2019.
December 20th, 2019. Are there any videos of this? Like, do we have this on YouTube somewhere?
It's got to be
Yeah.
somewhere. Yeah.
I mean,
The whole show's on YouTube.
it is. Okay, now I'm looking at this picture. This is one of my favorite pictures of the show
You got
ever.
Trader in the front.
You got Grande over here. You got Captain
Jefferson J.
Troy Sears. You got Browner in the back. Linda's driving the boat. I'm in the middle of it all. Jefferson J had his baby. Is that Mikey number 1?
Yeah.
Is that who that is? Is that Mike Hernandez, Mikey number 1? Billy Ray, Captain Fathom, and then there he is, right in the front of it. It almost looks
Judas.
photoshopped. Looks photoshopped. Burt Grossman in his Pittsburgh Pirates hat.
Judas. Judas down there.
I mean, the picture when you put it up on the screen, Alex, it doesn't even look real. It honestly looks like one of those Zoom backgrounds that we've made up. Oh my God, is that hilarious? There's Mike Hernandez, Mikey number 1.
I'll find video of the show.
Yeah. So
It's
here,
on our YouTube page.
so yeah, I was wondering if we had it all on YouTube. So, okay, so here's the thing. We had the greatest time. 2018, we put together our first ever Great Friends holiday party on the Yacht America. We went touring around the Bay of San Diego. We did a live radio show. 2019, we come back. We got no radio station, but we've got podcasting. And somehow, some way, we pulled this right out of our you-know-what. And we actually pulled off a live streaming podcast, video and audio, on the Yacht America. And this year, we decided, let's do it again. Oh, Alex is showing us the pictures now. Oh, there's Bernard Thompson. What's up, BT? Shout out to my man. And there's me, Linda, BT. He's got on his Mikey Williams gear. Burt Grossman sitting next to him. I don't know what that schmata is I'm wearing all that I got on.
The Christmas tree hoodie.
Yeah. Yeah. Leave it to the Hebrew brother to wear the Christmas tree hoodie. So it was the greatest time. So one of our listeners said, hey, why don't you guys do that again? And we thought, that's a bomb idea. And so, Browner, explain to us what you did then. We had the idea. We said you dealt with Captain Troy. You dealt with Captain Fathom. I felt so bad, by the way, because you know that new James Bond movie that came out?
Yeah.
Captain Troy Sears sent me an invitation to a black tie event on the boat. They all watched that movie the night it came out or something like that.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get there, unfortunately. So, Browner, you called who? Did you call Captain Fathom? Did you call Captain Troy? Who'd you call?
So during the show, I knew I had all their information, so I just emailed Captain Fathom and I said,
You just had to remember their names.
"Well,
Right. He's terrible with names. We know
listen,
this.
it's email, it's next level sailing." So I just put it in, and I scrolled down till I found next level, and her name was right next to it. So I mean,
Mhm.
technically, I didn't remember, but I did. And so I emailed them and I said, "Hey, we're thinking about trying to get back on the boat. We had such a great time, and we're trying to make this into a annual tradition. What do you guys think of the idea?" She emailed back that she thought it was a great idea. She asked me what days was I thinking, and that she would pass it on to Troy. And I told her the days, and then she came back, okay, the days, and I asked her about the time. Then she went back to Troy, got the time, everything got approved, and so now our time is, let's see, our time is this December the 11th from 3:30 to 5:30 p.m. And now we're in the midst of making out the guest list of how many people will be
Okay.
allowed on the boat.
Okay. December 11th. I'm going to my calendar here really quickly. December 11th. This is great. Because here's what.
God's like, oh, I can't
Oh,
make
you
it.
know what? Sorry, guys, I can't do it. Sorry. Unfortunately,
Shocker.
I just can't be there. You guys do it without me. It's all good.
Shocker.
It's all good. No, I'm only joking. I'm actually putting it in my calendar right now. So here's the thing. I have become friends with Captain Troy, and I love the guy. And I have taken my parents on whale watching tours. My girlfriend and I have gone with her folks out on whale watching tours. The Yacht America Next Level Sailing is exactly that, man. It is next level. If you have never gone whale watching in San Diego, it will blow your mind the wildlife that you get to experience when you're out there, because it's dolphins jumping all over the place, and then it's whales. And you can't believe how many whales are off the coast of San Diego and how you can get so close to them, and they're spouting out water and stuff. It's awesome. But the boat is incredible. But here's what Grande said. Now it's over to Grande, because Grande's like, yeah, Grande's like this. He goes, listen, can we do the Yacht America and a great friends holiday party without having to record a broadcast while we're there? Can we do it without having to go live and the stress of, are we going to make it? Can we stay on? Can we just do it on a day when we can all have a good time? Well, December 11th is a Saturday. You said 3 p.m. to 5 p.m.?
3:30.
3:30 to 5:30.
Okay, this is the perfect time of the day, because let me explain it to you. We'll all wind up getting down to the Yacht America, which is kind of like, let me explain to you where they dock the boat. It's by it's like Point Loma.
Shelter
It's
Island.
called Shelter Islands, Point Loma. It's right by like Humphreys by the bay. You know, and I like the Bally High, if you know those. I'm
It's in
giving you
between
some.
a hotel and the Humphreys.
Right. So it's a Saturday afternoon. Here's what will happen. I can already assure you, here's what happens. Don and Lori Benson show up at the parking lot at about 2:30 in the afternoon. They've got wine, cheese, salami, like a whole deal. They got like a tailgate party. The Bensons will break out a tailgate party. We'll all show up 2:30, 3 o'clock. We'll all have drinks before we get on the boat. We'll all be eating before we get on the boat. Joe Rigby will show up. He'll have a ton of booze.
He'll stay this time.
Oh, yeah. Because it's a Saturday. Fat Tony will show up with all kinds of great friends merch. We'll have like hoodies and T-shirts and things like that. I mean, the whole mishbucha will get together here. It'll be a beautiful thing. And then we'll go out, and the perfect time of day, 3:30 when we take off. By the time we get back, the sun is setting, and it is just fantastic. So now I ask, because Alex, you said let's do it on a Saturday so we don't have to actually work. Are you satisfied with the day and the time that Browner has put together for us?
Yeah, for sure, 100%. And like, if it happened during the week, I would still say, yeah, we're not doing a show. So taking the day off.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm glad it's a Saturday. We don't have to take a day off.
Yeah.
It'd be nice.
Really cool. So now you say, Brown, that you're not sure, because during COVID, as an outdoor activity, the boat, which used to be able to handle, let's just call it, I'm making up a number here, but I'm pretty close. Let's call it 70 guests.
Right.
Okay. During COVID, they would take it down to like 35.
Right.
So there was more space for people on the boat. But now that we're all out and about, can we get back to a full capacity? I mean, can we invite like 60, 70 great friends?
It goes back up to 77 guests, or we can cap it at 55.
Okay. I probably would rather try and cap it at around like 70. So there's just a few extra spaces here and there.
Okay.
And, some cancellations where people just don't
How
show
are
up.
we doing the guest list?
Okay. That's a good question.
That's the question.
That is a good question. Here's what I'd like to say about the guest list. I believe that we should invite all of our sponsors. I think we should invite Ruthie from Tori Holistics and the ownership of Tori Holistics. So that's probably 4 people. I think we should invite Dr. Samir Damani from iThrive MD, and that's probably 4 people. I think we should invite Corky from Corky's Pest Control, who came on the boat a few years ago, and he loved it.
Will he actually leave his palatial estate?
Corky will leave Ramona and come all the way to downtown San Diego just for this because he loved it that much the last time we did it.
Great.
Is
that 4 people?
Okay, yeah, probably give every sponsor 4 people. The people,
so we're at 12.
Yeah, Brad and the crew from 7 Mile Casino will probably be a part of it as well.
16.
So call it 16. So put aside 20 spots for sponsors. Let's have the sponsors.
You didn't mention Gary.
Yeah, Gary as well.
Team.
Yeah, so you got Tori Holistics with Ruthie and team, Dr. Samir Damani at iThrive with his team, Corky and his crew, 7 Mile Casino and their crew, Gary and his crew. So that's 20 people. That's 20 invitations for sponsors. Then after that, now we have the three of us plus probably our significant others. So now you're down to like 40. I mean, just making it okay. So I would say we should invite 40 great friends. Now you start knocking them off. The Bensons are going to come because they're going to tailgate for us. That's 2. The Rigbys are going to come, so that's probably 2 or 4. Fat Tony's coming. That's another 2. Now we're down to like 30. So we'll probably have 30 spots for great friends to come enjoy because we're bringing sponsors, we're bringing the guys from the show, their girlfriends, wives, families.
I'm gonna invite Jeff the Godfather so we can have alcohol.
Jeff the Godfather from Ballast Point, so he can bring the beer. He's not invited because we love him, although we do. He's invited to bring the beer.
You can invite my old roommate that we all know, who also can provide beer.
I saw him the other day, by the way.
Alex, the dude who's ripped,
just walking swole up there of university.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm just trying to think. We don't want to be responsible for alcohol. Why not bring guys that will bring alcohol?
Listen to me. We're going to bring Ruthie, and Ruthie is going to dose the entire boat. You understand what I'm saying to you?
Is that legal?
I don't know if it's legal or if it's not legal, but I mean, we're in international waters. So let's just do our thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's what I want to say.
So we got 20 spots.
Yeah. No, let's dedicate 30 spots.
I circled 30.
30 spots for great friends. Now we got a lot of people in the YouTube chat that are going to want to go. By the way, I didn't mention Bill Hagan, and the crew from 1090. So
70 sounds like a lot, but once you start breaking down the amount of the type of people that we would like to absolutely have come, we're looking at probably about 25 slots.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what I'm hoping for, like my wedding.
Mm-hmm.
You invite the 77.
Yeah.
And then you get 55.
Right. Well, that's what's going to happen here because people are going to bail. People are going to not show up.
I think that's Saturday. I think Saturday is what is going to make sure everyone shows up.
Yeah.
What better do you have to do on a Saturday that you've had, I don't know, a month run-up time to than be on the boat?
Yeah. We should actually.
So how are we giving these spots away?
Okay. We haven't come up with that yet. Okay. We have
That's
not.
what people care about.
Right.
So they don't care about the number. They know how they
care
going to
about
get
who's going.
No, everybody who's watching, everybody who's listening right now. Yeah. Says, how do I get on this boat? So
Are
we
gonna
have.
be that. Are we going to be that show?
Which show?
You going to require vaccination?
Yes, 100%.
Yes,
you have to be vaccinated. You have to be vaccinated to come. 100%.
That knocks out some people.
Knocks out Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers cannot come.
Sorry,
Kyrie
A-Rod.
Right. He's immunized, but he's not vaccinated. All right, we'll figure that out. Hey, listen, since we're talking about inviting our sponsors, I do want to remind all the guys out there, when you come on the boat, you'll have a chance to meet Dr. Samir Damani, assuming that Dr. Damani's in town and he can join us. He's from iThrive MD. You can visit the website ithrivemd.com/Kaplan. 858-240-1497 is the phone number. 858-240-1497. I want you guys to make an appointment at iThrive MD because look, Thanksgiving's coming. You're going to eat like an animal. I know I am. December's going to come. You're going to take some time off from work, which is going to mean holiday parties, eating and drinking. Okay. You may not work out the way you normally do. And listen, if your testosterone levels are low, that leads to a whole bunch of other health-related problems. So look, right now, if you make your appointment with iThrive MD prior to Thanksgiving, the first 3 months, which are normally $289 a month, down to $145 a month. Your first 3 months of testosterone treatments, 50% savings. At the end of 3 months, you're either going to say, this is the greatest thing I've ever done and I'll pay full price, I don't care, or you'll say, not for me anymore. But you might as well take advantage of the half price deal. You get the free testosterone test. And then, by the way, as you're hearing, I read some emails here recently from other guys who are saying, dude, my wife gets discounts on services for her. Why aren't you talking about all this stuff? There's a lot more to iThrive MD than just testosterone and these NAD injections that I'm bragging about. So make the appointment, guys, because when you make the appointment before Thanksgiving, you're going to get 50% off on your first 3 months of testosterone treatments at iThrive MD. iThriveMD.com/Kaplan, 858-240-1497. All right. So, guys, what we got to do now is, now that we've made the executive decision that we're doing the boat trip, it's December 11th. We sail from 3:30 to 5:30. The pregame tailgate starts at 2:30 in the parking lot, hosted by Don and Lori Benson. They don't even know this yet, but they're going to hear it on the radio, and they're going to tweet at me. And then the only thing we have to do is we got to figure out, we're going to have 30 spots to give away to great friends, and we have to figure out how to do that.
You want to give away a pair right now?
How would you like to do that?
We just have the first person to tweet at us saying, I want to go on that boat.
Gets a pair?
Gets a pair.
Okay, the
Just
first
to kick it off.
The first
It's not
person,
only a pair.
The first person that tweets Browner, Alex, me, and the show. You got to tweet all 4 accounts. You got to tag Alex, you got to tag Browner, you got to tag me, you got to tag the Kaplan and Crew account. The first person that we get the tweet from, you got a pair. Hey, coming up, let's go to Las Vegas. Let's talk about what's happening with the Raiders.
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal. Brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon and by Prospect Home Finance.
And they're on. Welcome back. Please join us in welcoming the Race and Sports Radio Show back home to 1090. Join host Felix Taverna every Saturday at 9 a.m. for the very best horse racing coverage in all of Southern California. The all-new and mightier 1090.
SDCCU is an engaged community partner. Each year, SDCCU is proud to support many nonprofit organizations throughout Southern California. Our partnerships allow us to help shape the financial lives of many through volunteerism, financial support, and creating public awareness. The result is a big impact on the communities we serve. SDCCU, it's not big bank banking, it's better. Federally insured by NCUA. Find out more at sdccu.com.
Great things can be achieved when a community comes together. Join Erica Cardenas on Doing More as she introduces you to ordinary people working side by side to confront tremendous challenges and make a positive impact in their community. Watch Doing More Sunday night at 6 on Your View or stream it online at yourview.com. Are you or someone you love living with dementia? Get free support from the experts at Alzheimer's San Diego. Visit alzsd.org or call 858-492-4400. Brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon, where your trade-in is always worth more. Just off I-8 in El Cajon.
Up to 30% of COVID-19 patients become long haulers with persistent symptoms months after the infection.
What I've been finding with my patients is that it's taking up to 3 to 6 months for them to recover their endurance, exercise capacity, and get them back to work or to their usual activities of daily living.
What I wasn't able to do was the basic needs, like brush your teeth, take a shower because of the shortness of breath, the tightness in my chest.
The symptoms that concern me the most, the shortness of breath. So restrictive. You know, you go through and you just take for granted that, you know, you're gonna breathe. And when that gets taken away, it's a scary thought. Unfortunately, I'm 6 months out now from my diagnosis and I'm still suffering from several of the symptoms.
My experience with the patients I've sent to La Mesa Rehab has been extremely positive. The patients come back with good reports, and when I see them in the office, their exercise capacity has improved dramatically.
I'm getting there because of La Mesa Rehab.
Teatro means theater in Spanish, and in Portuguese, and in Tagalog, and in Italian, and in so many languages. We have a lot of communities, a lot of culture here, so that is the reason why teatro is in the name. The mission of Teatro San Diego is to provide arts education to underserved communities, specifically in schools. Our goal is also in tandem with arts education to provide a professional theater company and dance company so that the community can see themselves reflected on stage at the professional level. Places like Subaru have really been so supportive and have helped us come up with projects like the AMI project.
I was so honored to be at an event a few days ago and heard some of the songs from it. These guys rock. This is just an amazing thing that everyone needs to see.
Southern California Radio is a special game, a unique game from the sandy beaches of the Baja and all the way to Santa Barbara. My voice sounds pretty cool. The all-new and mightier 1090.
My name is John Alicio, and I'm managing partner of Procopio. Procopio is the largest San Diego-based law firm, and we're proud to be a part of this event, the Salute to Teachers. Without the teachers, none of us would have had the success we've had. You know, our firm consists of about 200 professionals and 200 attorneys, so a total of 400 mostly San Diego educated professionals. Without you, we'd not be winning the cases we win as we go toe-to-toe with the best attorneys in the world. So thank you on behalf of Procopio for what you do and how you do it. And a special personal thanks to my alma mater, Valhalla High School, and the teachers at that school. Without you, I would not have had the personal success I have had. So from Procopio, thank you for what you do and how you do it. Salute.
Congratulations to the San Diego County Teachers of the Year, Laura Reyes, Heather McLean, Jacqueline Jourdain, Zy Sanders, and Tiffany Jokerst.
This year has provided a mountain of challenges, but every mountaintop is within reach if you just keep climbing.
Cox Presents Salute to Teachers is proudly sponsored by these charitable companies.
San Diego State football got some good news earlier this week after a tough weekend. The Aztecs were ranked at number 24 in the college football playoff rankings that were released on Tuesday. SDSU fell out of the top 25 in the AP poll and the USA Today coaches poll after their loss to Fresno State last weekend, so the ranking came as somewhat of a surprise. This is the first time the Aztecs have ever made the CFP rankings. SDSU is 7-1 on the year, which matches their best 8-game start in the last 46 seasons. The Aztecs will look to get back in the win column as they travel across the Pacific to take on the Rainbow Warriors of Hawaii this Saturday. Also this week for the Aztecs, linebacker Segun Alubi was named a nominee of the Burlsworth Trophy given to the most outstanding college football player who began their career as a walk-on. That's your 60-second timeout. Now back to more Kaplan and Crew Tonight.
Kaplan and Crew Tonight's 60-second timeout is presented by Team Mazda of El Cajon, where your trade-in is always worth more.
Still on his feet, Jared Williams Swift is in the end zone. Touchdown, Wildcats. He's in the 40. Is he going to go? Holds it in. What a catch. Big return left sideline. Off to the races. He splits the defenders into the end zone. He's got a man. Pass out. Wildcats. That was pretty.
Game Time High School Football on Your View is brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon, where your trade-in is always worth more. Just off I-8 in El Cajon.
There's a difference between just getting there and enjoying the journey. At Team Mazda of El Cajon, we put you in the driver's seat of the best cars around. From our stylish crossover SUVs to our classic sedans and sports cars. At Team Mazda of El Cajon, your good credit and trade-in can turn into the Mazda of your dreams. Start enjoying your drive with the new Mazda today. Visit Team Mazda of El Cajon.
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew Tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 and Your View. Brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon, and by Prospect Home Finance.
Great friends, it's a Thursday afternoon here on Kaplan and Crew with Grande and the Brown Man. And we are coming to you from the 7 Mile Casino Studios. 7milecasino.com is the web address. And I always remind you, just minutes from downtown San Diego, 7 Mile Casino. On Saturdays and Sundays, Sammy's Restaurant and Bar inside the casino. What a spot for college football on Saturday and NFL football on Sunday, because the brunch goes from 9 a.m. until 3 p.m. And I'm telling you right now, I know this sounds ridiculous because everybody knows Sammy's wood fire pizza, salads, the whole deal. The Kung Pao chicken at Sammy's is all the reason to go to 7 Mile Casino. Besides blackjack and poker and the convenient location, the Kung Pao chicken. I mean, I don't know, Browner, maybe you think it's the wings, dude. Maybe you think
already
it's the...
listen. You already know. You saw what I tore up at that table. Now, you had a little bit of everything. So I don't know what your favorite thing is, but that chicken is undeniable.
Yeah, Alex, what would you say, though? What would your recommendation be?
Dude, you already know where I'm at. Sliders, cheeseburger, gorgonzola, aioli. That's where it's at, dude.
Yeah, those are good. Those are
and
really
Scott,
good.
don't act like you had a favorite, dude, because you literally had a whole menu like falling in front of you on the tablecloth.
But the truth of the matter is that there were leftovers, and the Kung Pao chicken is what I took home.
I really feel like the question you should be telling people or answering is, when they ask you, what do you like best there? You should say, I like menu page number 3.
Right. When I go there, I say, give me one of everything. You know, I'll take one of everything. You know?
Give me
In fact,
everything on page 3.
In fact, I think what we did when we were there most recently was we had 2 of everything. So 7 Mile Casino, 7milecasino.com, Sammy's Restaurant and Bar inside 7 Mile Casino. All right, guys, I wanted to talk today about the Raiders situation because this is so unique and unusual, bizarre, sad. It's so many different things. And it might turn into be, from a football perspective, inspiring. When John Gruden resigned, Derek Carr, I think, has stepped up to become more of the franchise's leader. And now with this Henry Ruggs situation, is there anybody more forgiving and more loving than Derek Carr? So here to have this discussion about the Raiders and what is going on, longtime Raider broadcaster, really the voice of the Raider fan base, JT The Brick is back. I listen to JT The Brick almost every night on Mad Dog Sports Radio on Sirius. And then what happens is when I'm driving down the road and I hear JT doing his thing, I'm like, yo, I'm listening. I'm tuning in. And he'll throw me a shout out, which I appreciate. Here is JT The Brick in Las Vegas to discuss what's going on with his Raiders. JT, good afternoon. What is happening, my brother?
Good friends, and I'm a connoisseur of the Kung Pao chicken. Always my go-to. Nice. Always my go-to is the Kung Pao chicken. I don't like to step outside the box too much. I always go for the Kung Pao chicken. Can't wait to have some with you. I'm good.
Hey, JT, by the way, I texted JT, guys. This was last Wednesday night. I'm down at Dead & Company in Chula Vista, and JT's got this group of buddies of his that, anytime I'm around, I get to hang out with all these guys. I'm walking out of the bathroom. Who's coming walking into the bathroom? We make eye contact. I'm like, yo, what's up?
Bobby G.
Bobby G is the man, dude. I see him everywhere. And this weekend, by the way, this is going to be one of those weekends because here in San Diego, JT, we got the Breeders' Cup happening at Del Mar. And people are like, wait, you're going to Vegas to see Canelo fight? I'm like, listen, I've been to the Breeders' Cup at Del Mar once before. I don't have a horse running in the Breeders' Cup. I've been out every night because there's all these Breeders' Cup festivities and people in town. But yeah, I'm coming up your way this weekend because I want to see Canelo. I've never seen Canelo fight in person.
Yeah, and speaking of Del Mar, the aforementioned Bobby G and my crew were at the winter opening day. Well, then meet opening day yesterday.
Yeah.
And sent me pictures and had a good time. It's the first Canelo fight, the first one I'm not going to Saturday because I'm going to the Rolling Stones at Allegiant Stadium. So we're having another what we call Vegas entertainment stress test. We have Canelo sold out. We have the Stones at Allegiant Stadium, all on the Strip, walking distance. You can walk from Allegiant Stadium to T-Mobile. That's how many people we're going to have here on the Strip. And Cap, welcome. I'm looking forward to seeing you this weekend.
So is that where the Canelo fight is, T-Mobile?
I thought the Canelo fight was at the MGM. I believe.
It's at the MGM.
Yeah, it's at the MGM. So they might have hockey over there too. I don't know. It could be hockey. I got to look at the calendar. But everything is going on in Vegas every weekend. The opening of that Raiders football stadium, Allegiant Stadium, has now changed everything because they just they just launched Billy Joel and Metallica the same weekend in February. So you got Metallica Friday night, Billy Joel Saturday night in a football stadium. We didn't have this football stadium. We'd still be getting concerts at T-Mobile and the MGM, but it wouldn't be the same. Allegiant Stadium now breaks open to these super concerts. We've had Garth Brooks already, Guns N' Roses. We've had soccer, USA versus Mexico, and the Raiders. And as you know, there were a lot of Bears fans in town. There were a lot of Eagle fans in town, even though the majority were Raider fans. So this is glorious now because fans are coming from all over the world to see these events and their football teams play in Vegas.
Yeah, really, really cool. We're talking to JT the Brick. He's in Las Vegas. We wanted to talk to him about the Raiders because JT has been affiliated with the Raider organization for so many years, part of the move from Oakland to Vegas, and was hosting the John Gruden show every week until John Gruden resigned. And now Rich Bisaccia, the interim head coach, he fills that role. So JT is very, very tuned in to the Raider organization. So, Brick, let me get your opening thought here. What is going on with this franchise, which to their credit, they are 5-2. They are right in the middle of the AFC playoff picture. They're playing against the lowly New York Football Giants this week, who are 2-6. But I mean, this organization, this franchise, the team, the locker room, the concentration level it must take with all the craziness swirling around them. What do you say to that?
I think they're in a good spot. I mean, they're 5-2. They got great leadership. I mean, Derek Carr's been incredible in this situation. He loses his head coach, his mentor, in John Gruden, and now he loses Henry Ruggs III, his number one target as a wide receiver behind Waller. And, you know, the Ruggs thing isn't a football story. It's a tragedy. It's probably the biggest tragedy I've ever covered, period, in sports. And I'm living in it today, yesterday, the day before. The accident happened 3 miles from my house. So imagine Leucadia Boulevard. Imagine Delmar Heights Road. We're not talking about a freeway. Henry Ruggs goes out the last night of the bye week as the players are back from the bye week. And Tuesday's an off day, as you know. They're coming back Wednesday to practice. He's reportedly at Top Golf with the mother of his child, and he's there hitting golf balls, and he posts a video. Don't know what happens in the next 3-hour window, but at 3:39 in the morning, he's going 157 miles an hour with a gun in his car and plows into an innocent 23-year-old woman who had her dog in the car with her. They die. The details of the accident and what happened to that woman is insanity. Okay, as they tried to get her out, car is a ball of flames. Ruggs obviously finds out in his court appearance he's under the influence. The gun story, and because that vet, which he couldn't drive, he didn't know how to drive it, a 2020 brand new vet, they could see the details of the speed, 157 impact in the 120s. It's a miracle he lived, a miracle that the mother of his child lived, and he's done. Raiders saw the details of his, what was in his system, the speed and all of that. They got rid of him that night, and the Raiders move on to play the Giants. But I'll tell you, Cap, in all our years of doing this together, roughly the same amount of years, I've never seen anything like this. It's a tragedy. I don't think he'll ever play again. He's only 22. I have a 20-year-old son. I have a 20-year-old son. So I look at him. I was the first guy ever to interview him the night of the draft. Everyone in town only said great things about him. Great kid. Everywhere, going to food banks, donating money, signing autographs. And one horrifically bad decision kills an innocent human being and ruins the life of a football player in that family forever. A tragedy.
Yep, it is a tragedy. You're so right. I mean, to be that young, to have a bank account filled up with money, to be out late at night, obviously clearly drinking, I mean, and like excessively drinking, and then to get behind the wheel of a car that has that sort of power, and you know, you wind up killing somebody, and in the process, you know, you've destroyed your own life. You know, you will never play in the NFL again. You're probably going to spend the next, I don't know, 15 to 20 years of your life in jail. And there goes the money. There goes the fame. There goes the future career. It's just, it is from the Henry Ruggs side. It's an irresponsible, terrible tragedy for the kid. And for the young lady who died in the car, who was an innocent person sitting there, from what I understood, was she at a red light or a stop sign, something like that. She was not moving at the time.
Yep.
Just such a sad, terrible thing, you know?
It's a tragedy of epic proportions, and it checks every box. It checks every box of what we've been talking about our whole lives, either with our kids or what we've known about, is that every decision that was made was a bad one after a certain time at night. What our parents always said to us, nothing good happens after midnight, right? Check that box. Never want to be on the road in the middle of the night. Check that box. And you look at the decision, every NFL player in their cell phone has a number. I've known about this for years. They have a number that they can call at any time within their organization. No questions asked. They don't ask you how much you were drinking, what you're under the influence of, why are you where you're at 3:30 in the morning. They're not allowed to ask a question. They just pick you up instantly. And the Raiders live by this. Mark Davis, the owner, is sober. Darren Waller, their best player, is sober. Max Crosby, the best defensive player, just went through sobriety. He is sober. They preach this all the time. All the players knew this. They all went to the rookie symposium. They all heard Herm Edwards speak. Everybody's heard the speech. And all he had to do was leave his car. Guys, the moral of this story is simple. We all think we can drive. Everybody. But I take that out of the equation. The beginning of the night, there is no car with me. There's a taxi, there's an Uber, there's a driver. It's there at the end of the night. Countless times in Vegas, I leave my car at the casino in the valet. My wife and I look at each other after the second glass of wine and say, we're done. We're not going to have 3 glasses and go, let's wait an hour, we ate. Let's drive home after that. It's never in our equation. But Cap, it is for 22-year-olds as they walk towards their car at the end of the night and say, yeah, I can do it. I can do that. I can take the side street. I can make 2 rights and a left. I can get home so I don't have to get my car tomorrow. I don't have to pay for the valet for the second day. I don't have to go back and find my car in the parking lot. That's the key to this story, is that Henry Ruggs was under the influence and something triggered in his brain and he said, I can drive. I'm confident enough that I can do this, and he couldn't do it.
Yep. JT the Brick is here. He's in Las Vegas. He covers the Raiders. He's inside the Raider organization. He was hosting the John Gruden show, which has become the Rich Bisaccia show. And so obviously very, very close to the Raider organization. So guys, feel free to jump in. I
want to talk to JT about Derek Carr, because obviously there's questions about Derek Carr, the quarterback. But for me, after the Gruden stuff, after this stuff, I'm so convinced that Derek Carr is the right quarterback for this team right now. Like, I don't know if he's just this great in the media or if this translates in the locker room, but he seems to me like exactly the kind of guy you want to be your quarterback right now, going through all this stuff.
Yeah, let's talk about this, Alex, because I've always thought he was the guy, and there's always a question mark. The question mark is fair. Is he elite? The category is always that. He's a super quarterback. He is a great quarterback. But then to get to the elite level, which I believe is top 5, not top 10, could he be that guy? And that question has been out there for a long time. He's having another type of MVP season. Now that Kyler Murray's hurt, Aaron Rodgers. Oh, let me get to that guy. We'll save that for another podcast. So Carr's in the hunt. He can make every throw. He's a great leader. He's faith-based. His religion and his faith means more to him than the football team. And he's going through a tough time because he lost Gruden and now he's lost Ruggs. Ruggs rightfully so. He's the guy. He's the face of the franchise. He's got a contract coming up. He deserves whatever he's going to get in the future. And he's the type of guy that can lead this team through this adversity that they're seeing now. If he hasn't proven to every one of your listeners in your audience that he's the guy and one of the great quarterbacks in this league, I don't know what they're waiting for. He passed Rich Gannon, Jim Plunkett, Ken Stabler in the history of the Raiders. He's got every record that they can win. He started off 0-10 in his career. Think of that, 0-10. And now he's got a 5-2 team. They moved and transitioned from Oakland to Vegas. He's got 4 kids, so he's a young dad. He's got everything on his plate, and he's doing everything right. Carr is the guy. They'll only go as far as Derek Carr this season.
Yeah, and JT, isn't it interesting? He's gone through multiple head coaches. He's gone through multiple offensive coordinators. He's had to be part of the move from Oakland to Vegas. Yeah. And honestly, like, I did have some doubts about Carr, the quarterback, but I always knew back in my days of working for CBS and doing those pre-production meetings, how faith-based he was. And even though I'm not nearly as faith-based as he is, I always love that about a quarterback, that because they're grounded. their family. You know, he's a family guy. That's what's most important to him. And he's turning into the father of the franchise. I mean, I'm like watching it.
That's a great way of saying it.
Spokesperson, right?
He's the father of the franchise. That's what it feels like.
He's in a very tough spot. And again, we don't know. We're guys who talk on the radio. We don't know. We don't know what they're going through. But you can't imagine how to get through this if you're not faith-based. I mean, his faith is driving him. And I love when athletes talk about their faith. I was into it with Tebow. You know, if you care about your faith, you're Muslim, you're Jewish, you're Catholic, whatever your faith is, if you feel comfortable talking about that after a victory, a loss, a touchdown, I've always been in support of that. And Derek feels comfortable talking about that, but he's been tested now. We're only heading into week 9. Mm-hmm. I've been doing this 23 years for the Raiders. It feels like I've been through 2 seasons coming off their bye week now, the emotions. And I'm just a small, tiny piece that gets to get on the inside of this. There's been a lot of changes with this organization, from executives, vice presidents, people coming, people leaving. And that's all on the business side of it. These are friends that I've worked with. But it all comes back to Mark Davis again. Mark Davis has to fight the league on this Washington football team nonsense, which took out John Gruden. We talked about that in the past. Gruden deserves to be out. But the Raiders are affected by the Washington football team investigation and nobody else. No. And now the face of the Raiders at wide receiver, their first ever pick in Vegas, his life, well, at least his career's over. And this is all happening the same year as Mark Davis is trying to launch a new franchise in a new market. So there's a lot happening here. It's very complicated. But I just concentrate on football. And from a football perspective, they got a game they better win against a really struggling bad team in the Giants. And then after that, they play Kansas City Sunday Night Football a week from Sunday, where Charles Woodson's going to get his Hall of Fame ring. They're going to bring back 9 or 10 gold jackets. NBC, Al Michaels Sunday night. They could put a dagger in Kansas City at home right there. And then the Chargers have lost 2 in a row. Oh, the Chargers who come and bring croissants and coffee, and their caravan pulls up to the Fox lot and pulls up to Fox 5 and giving croissants and bagels. Can you please talk about us? How about those guys losing 2 in a row?
I love it. I love it.
Yeah,
hey,
Browner.
JT, do you stop it? Hey, JT, the tunnel vision that is required for football from a coaching perspective, from a player's perspective, do you think that's had a huge impact on why guys have been able to kind of hunker down and stick together and move forward with everything going on around this franchise?
Great question. Yeah, I believe that. I believe that in all sports. It could be European soccer. It could be baseball. When there's a tragedy or there's a big turnabout within an organization, you want to get to the ballpark. You want to get to practice. You want to get out there, and you want to encapsulate those 3-4 hours and focus on what you do for a living. And it's very important. And some teams deal with this and we never hear about it. It could be happening in Jacksonville. It could be happening tonight in Philadelphia. There's something happening that we're not aware about, but we're aware of with the family. But you have a job to do. Your job is to be paid millions of dollars to perform on time, practice, be healthy, get your treatment. And as John Madden said, play like hell on Sunday. And that's what the Raiders are doing now. And I think they're doing it because of Max Crosby, a player now that has an opportunity to be in consideration for Defensive Player of the Year. A lot of football left, but he's having that type of season. Carr's having an MVP year. They're finally getting healthy, and they love playing football. They love playing football. But, Browner, this is going to be a test because they were all friends with Henry Ruggs. They all loved him. They're not going to forget about Henry Ruggs and say, we'll never talk to you again. There's a brotherhood in that locker room after this awful tragedy. And I'm interested to see how they react to it against the team that is really struggling in the Giants. The Raiders better be sharp in the Meadowlands on Sunday. They better get off to a good start, and they better not let the Giants hang around.
I think that's also the interesting part, too, that the human side of this, like they went to work with this guy every day. Like they knew him. And like you said, he was donating money in charities around town. So he was in the community. He was a good person.
And now he's a young kid. His life is over, right?
Who made a mistake. And so I hope people don't expect for the Raiders, the players, to now badmouth this guy or kind of throw him to the side because they knew him. We don't know him. We know the mistake that he made. We know the tragic accident that came from this mistake, but they know him. And so I'm interested to see how they're treated by the media going forward in reference to this kid.
Yeah, I said last word. You got about 30, 40 seconds.
Yeah, last I said this on my podcast. I said, look, if you rob a bank, you've probably been stealing your whole life. And at the end, you rob a bank, you get caught. You've been a pretty bad guy and a criminal for a long time. A lot of people, the message I want to leave you on, a lot of good people made the worst decision of their life when it comes to alcohol, substances, and a car. Their whole life was great. It could have been 21 years of their life. It could be 50 years, 70 years. The mistake is getting behind the wheel under any type of influence. And this young man did it at 22 years old. It's the worst tragedy I've ever covered. And unfortunately, there's going to be more tragedies until we understand the complexities of drinking and driving under the influence. And I hope everybody takes that away. I hope someone in your audience gets that heading into this weekend. And because of this conversation we're having, we save a life and someone makes a great decision going forward. Not once, they make that great decision the rest of their lives.
JT The Brick in Las Vegas, Raiders broadcaster covering these crazy stories around the Raider franchise. JT, I'll see you this weekend. I'll be at Canelo. You'll be at the Rolling Stones, but we'll definitely connect. Thank you very much, and we'll talk to you again real soon. Thanks, JT.
Can't wait to see all you guys. Take care. Thanks for having me on.
All right, man. More to come. Stick around, everybody. We got a lot to get to. This is Kaplan and Crew from the 7 Mile Casino Studios.
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal. Brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon and by Prospect Home Finance.
Our massive signal covers an area where over 24 million people reside. So, if you're listening or advertising on another station, we have only one question. Why? The new generation of radio. The all-new and mightier 1090.
Great things can be achieved when a community comes together. Join Erica Cardenas on Doing More as she introduces you to ordinary people working side by side to confront tremendous challenges and make a positive impact in their community. Watch Doing More Sunday night at 6 on Your View or stream it online at yourview.com. Sponsored by The Barnes Firm, partnering with Shelter to Soldier and saving lives 2 at a time. Visit thebarnesfirm.com/shelter to soldier and help save more lives.
Still on his feet, Jared Williams-Swift is in the end zone. Touchdown, Wildcat. He's in the 40. Is he going to go? Holds it in. What a catch. Return left sideline. Off to the races. He flipped the defenders into the end zone. He's got a man. Wildcat. That was pretty.
Game Time High School Football on Your View is brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon, where your trade-in is always worth more. Just off I-8 in El Cajon.
There's a difference between just getting there and enjoying the journey. At Team Mazda of El Cajon, we put you in the driver's seat of the best cars around. From our stylish crossover SUVs to our classic sedans and sports cars. At Team Mazda of El Cajon, your good credit and trade-in can turn into the Mazda of your dreams. Start enjoying your drive with a new Mazda today. Visit Team Mazda of El Cajon.
San Diego State football got some good news earlier this week after a tough weekend. The Aztecs were ranked at number 24 in the college football playoff rankings that were released on Tuesday. SDSU fell out of the top 25 in the AP poll and the USA Today coaches poll after their loss to Fresno State last weekend, so the ranking came as somewhat of a surprise. This is the first time the Aztecs have ever made the CFP rankings. SDSU is 7-1 on the year, which matches their best 8-game start in the last 46 seasons. The Aztecs will look to get back in the win column as they travel across the Pacific to take on the Rainbow Warriors of Hawaii this Saturday. Also this week for the Aztecs, linebacker Segun Alubi was named a nominee of the Burlsworth Trophy given to the most outstanding college football player who began their career as a walk-on. That's your 60-second timeout. Now back to more Kaplan and Crew Tonight.
Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout is presented by Team Mazda of El Cajon, where your trade-in is always worth more.
Catch an all-new local show on the Mightier 1090. Please join us every Thursday at 6 p.m. for the Charity Stripe, where you can get 3 out-of-the-box sports minds whose game is knowing yours. Only on a new generation of radio, the Mightier 1090 AM, SoCal Sports Talk.
From fitness to medical technology, explore how people are leading healthier lives on Your Health. Join Erica Cardenas as she introduces you to health experts and discover how our daily choices affect our well-being. Plus, learn simple tips for healthier living. Your Health, Sunday at 4:30 p.m. on YourView and YourView.com. Brought to you by La Mesa Rehab, improving the lives of those afflicted by chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Learn more at LaMesaRehab.com.
Wilsey Asset Management is an investment advisory firm registered with the SEC. We're a firm that's a fiduciary firm, and we manage $500 million in assets for clients and businesses nationwide. We do better when our clients do better. You want to have a win-win situation. And I saw the same thing with charities. Some of the charities that we're involved in would include Cruise for Kids. Another organization that we really helped a lot was Children's Hospital. And there's also other organizations that we help as well in addition to those.
Kind of growing up and seeing how involved my dad was in the community, it really rubbed me, I'm going to say, in the right way. I did kind of take that one step further, I would say, and actually did start my own charity. It's called the Fighters Fight Foundation. What we do is we actually provide experiences to women that are battling stage 3 or stage 4 breast cancer. Our charity is not just about providing the experiences for women, it's also too on educating people. If you want to get involved in the foundation, you can go to our website, fightersfightfoundation.com.
At La Jolla Cosmetic, we try to help people achieve well-being, and we feel that it's not only important to look good, but also feel good inside. And honestly, what a better opportunity to help my community than being a supporter of an organization such as Las Patronas.
The mission of Las Patronas is to provide financial assistance to local nonprofits that are providing valuable community services in the areas of health, education, social services, and cultural arts. La Jolla Cosmetic has been one of our biggest supporters at Las Patronas, so we couldn't do what we do without their support.
You feel the need and you see the need because we go to visit each grant applicant.
Partnering with groups that are actually dedicated to help your community, it's the best thing that you can do as a responsible business.
Shelter to Soldier is 9 years young with a mission to save lives 2 at a time. We're adopting dogs from local shelters, training them for post 9/11 combat veterans, and we're able to donate these trained dogs to deserving veterans in need.
You know, I was in a very dark place. I was having suicidal thoughts, and I really needed an immediate help. We don't know if tomorrow is going to be there for us.
Shelter to Soldier is a nonprofit, and we're able to do the work that we do because of you, the community. Whether it's an individual donating $5 or whether it's a corporate donor like the Barnes firm that's supporting us and sponsoring multiple dogs that are going to make an impact in the veterans' lives in need.
Him by my side 24/7 has completely turned my life around. It's not just saving both of our lives, it has made an impact on myself, Nigel, my family, my work. So yes, they definitely have saved our lives.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the Mightier 1090 and YourView, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal. Brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon and by Prospect Home Finance.
Wilsey Asset Management is an investment advisory firm registered with the SEC. We're a firm that's a fiduciary firm, and we manage $500 million in assets for clients and businesses nationwide. We do better when our clients do better. You want to have a win-win situation. And I saw the same thing with charities. Some of the charities that we're involved in would include Cruise for Kids. Another organization that we really helped a lot was Children's Hospital. And there's also other organizations that we help as well in addition to those.
Kind of growing up and seeing how involved my dad was in the community, it really rubbed me, I'm going to say, in the right way. I did kind of take that one step further, I would say, and actually did start my own charity. It's called the Fighters Fight Foundation. What we do is we actually provide experiences to women that are battling stage 3 or stage 4 breast cancer. Our charity is not just about providing the experiences for women, it's also too on educating people. If you want to get involved in the foundation, you can go to our website,
ScottCaplanCrewFoundation.com.
Attention, all dogs, cats, horses, tortoises, birds, pigs, and all other pets. Get your family members to sit, stay, and watch Animal Zone every Saturday at 9 p.m. right here on this channel and at animalzone.org.
Tune in Saturdays at 9 p.m. to watch Animal Zone right here on YearView.
Thank you for joining us. Catch Scott Kaplan and crew tonight from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific every Monday through Friday. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio. SoCal Sports Talk.